Yo, and we is live. Man, you know I gotta throw some music on here. Music first, then we're gonna send out some invites because it be quiet up in here. Yeah. Then I'll probably turn it off. Let's see. Cheer. See if we can get some musics. Hopefully I could be heard okay. I'll be acting like this the first time live streaming because I always be asking the same old questions. Can y'all hear me? Sneaky Tyler in the build. What up, fam? What's good with you? Same old same over here, man. You know, I had a long day at work today. Came home, took a shower, and I was like, let me jump on the live for like an hour. Number one, I'm hungry because I ain't eating nothing all day. Good looking out. My man said the audio is good. I appreciate you. Yo, I think I'm gonna change my mic out. I think I'm gonna change or figure out how to work the game to where it's a little bit louder or whatever, but I think I'm gonna make some changes. Man, I'm hungry. So let me ask y'all the most important question so far. Have you eaten today? Then again, it's only what time is it? 6:51 here, Mountain Time in Colorado. Let me know where you're tapping in from. I know Sneaker Tyler, he is in Colorado as well. He's on that Mountain Time. Yay, sir. Mountain Time it is. Where you tapping in from? Say what up in the comment section. I figured I'd jump on the live for like an hour. But every time I say an hour, it ends up going a little bit further. But I worked today. Came home, took a shower, man, feeling all nice and fresh. I am hungry and I want to play my game. Got my Xbox right here. But I want to play my game, man. Game I've been playing, it's not a new one. It's called Dead by Daylight. I suck at it. All right, let me say it properly. I'm actually getting better. And that's why I want to play it, because I've actually been getting better. So if y'all know anything about that game, it's called DBD. And I used to be really bad at it. Now I'm just bad at it. So that means I'm getting better. So, but yeah, man, I'm thinking about some Popeyes. I don't know. I might get some Popeyes today. You know, I am tired of eating. I don't want to eat anymore. Man, I am tired. I don't want to chew. I don't want to eat, but I'm hungry. But I'm hungry. Man, sometimes making a decision on what to eat is just the hardest thing for me, because I don't be having a taste. You know how you have a taste for something? You might be like, yo, I got a taste for some spaghetti. I want some chicken. I want some pizza. I want some fish. I want a sandwich from Jimmy John's or Jersey Mike's. But I don't got a taste for nothing. And it's like that a lot of days. I don't be having a taste for nothing. It's crazy. Ken Norton in the bill. What up, Ken Norton? Sneaky Tyler said, I like the topic on the title of the stream. Yeah, man. Truth be told, I don't know how long it was. I think it was about a week ago. Could have been 2 weeks ago. Nah, it was longer than that because I was in New York. So whatever. Let's call it a month. A couple of weeks ago, I was watching a video with Talks with TJ. I like her content. And she had made a video about how important is hype. I guess JD Sports had put up like a little post or poll talking about hype, as far as like where do you rank hype when buying sneakers. And so this is what I want to do. I want to put her video on, let her get her piece off, and then I want to hear what y'all got to say about it, because I actually thought it was actually an interesting topic. Ken Norton said, "Was good, fam. How important is hype?" We got some shout outs here. Ken Norton in the building. What up to everybody that's tapped in? Say what up in the comment section. Where I don't know where the comment section is looking at for y'all, right? It might be over here, it might be down there. Matter of fact, let me turn on. I just turned on the comments on the stream. So whatever y'all got to say is gonna pop up on the stream. This is what I asked though. This is what I asked. Because there's always one. We got some people tuned into this live. There's always one person that's gonna get reckless. Hey yo, chill. That's all I'm gonna say is like, yo, chill. We ain't here for all that. I got your comments on the screen. Say what up. See? What up? That's all. Boom. All you gotta do is say what up. So say what up. You know what I'm saying? Let's be cordial. Let's have some fun. Let's laugh. Let's do all that. But we ain't got to get reckless and start disrespecting each other. All right. So moving forward, He said the new LeBron 24s look fire. Where are you? There's a good chance, Tyler, I haven't seen them, but then again, there's a good chance I have seen them. So I definitely don't mind pulling them up. I'm gonna get this video going here in a minute. How important is hype when purchasing a kick? Let me turn the music off. I'm gonna switch over. Let me mute that. Let me switch over to, let me share my screen. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, before I share my screen, let me send out some invites first. So y'all work with me for a second. Let me shoot out some invites. I never know who's gonna be on. So what I like to do is I like to send the invites out. If people jump on, they jump on, whatever. Keep it cordial. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Wednesday. Happy hump day. What up? Thanks for saying what up in the chat. What's good with you? Thanks for tapping in, man. Everybody who's here, man, say hi. Say what up in the chat. Where you tapping in from? I am on that mountain time in Colorado. It's only 6:56, and your boy is hungry. I am Hungarian. I'm trying to tell you. All right, let me go ahead to the screen share. I'm gonna put on this video with Talks with TJ. Let me go ahead and share this. Do a little reaction to that, and then I just want you to tap in and let me know what the deal is. Can y'all see that okay? I'm going to go into full screen mode.
That I need to actually go ahead and record. And so we're just going to go over this right here. So shout out to JD Sports again, because they posed a question, and similar to the last one where we were talking about like, hey, $500 budget, do you get one grail? Do you get 5 everyday pairs? We have another question. So let's just go ahead and tackle this. And if you missed my last video about like, hey, that brand new Hyper Slide by Nike and Hyper Ice, be sure to check that out. It's $250, and my thoughts may surprise some, because I know people think, oh my God, you would never justify that. Not that I'm trying to justify the price of the shoe, but I get it. So just watch that video. All right. So JD Sports said, hey, rank these by importance in relation to sneakers. Okay. So you have number 1, comfort; 2, colorway; 3, versatility; and 4, hype. And then we're also going to play around with what I think this list would change to if I were the one to actually give it to you for myself. So as it stands right now, I thought that this is perfect just the way that it is, right? I thought that this is perfect just the way that it is. But I am going to tweak something here, and then I'll go ahead and give you guys what my actual like 4 would be, because hype would not be present in it whatsoever. Like, it just wouldn't. And then I'll go ahead and show some sneakers maybe to kind of give you an idea of what I mean. But okay, so I would actually swap comfort and colorway. And I know I am a proponent of comfort, especially in this chapter of my life where I'm buying far less Jordan Retros because I don't feel like the comfort is there the way that I want it to be, even with, you know, swapping in some different insoles versus a lot of other sneakers that I can choose to wear from a range of brands. And so for me, even though I do adore comfort, I do think still like I need the shoe to really draw me in terms of it is going to be the colorway and then something else that we're going to talk about in a little bit. But I need to.
Let me stop right there real quick. I was going to let you know I'm actually in agreement with her on that. You always hear me say from time to time, sneakers don't sit, colorways do. So number 1, if the shoe is not even appealing to me, that you know what I mean? Like the colorway, it has the colorway has the vibe. So I'm in agreement with that. Let's go.
Love what the actual shoe looks like just in terms of the colorway. Like if I hate the colorway, I don't care how comfortable the shoe is. I'm not going to want to wear it. Like I'm just not, like full stop. I know that deep down I will not reach for that shoe. So for me, the colorway absolutely does matter. It needs to be a good colorway. If it's not something that I think will go with what my typical style is, then like what would be the point? And I've had a range of shoes and colors. Okay. I've had all Vault sneakers. I have bright pink sneakers. I have purple. I'm trying to think, what would be something that's out there? I mean, I've had all baby blue sneakers. So I think I've had like everything, but still there are some color combinations where it would just be a no for me on the shoe. And so with that being said, I would actually slide colorway up to number 1, and then comfort would absolutely be number 2, but it's almost feeling like a 1A, 1B thing. Actually, that's more so when I get to my real list. But let's just go ahead for all intents and purposes. 2 would be comfort. The shoe needs to be comfortable. Now, there are different occasions and environments where I'm not as pressed about the comfort, but I still don't want my feet hurting. If I'm going somewhere where I'm sitting down and I know for a fact there's not some long walk for me to get from point A to point B, and I get to sit down for majority of the time that I am somewhere, then I may be open to wearing certain shoes. But like even going to the movies, that when I've been in certain pairs.
Comment down below or wherever the comment section is at, and let me know where you would rank this poll that was put up by JD Sports. What is your list? Comfort, colorway, versatility, hype. That's how JD Sports ranked it from 1 to 4. Let me know how you would rank when picking a shoe.
They didn't feel that great for that time. It was the weirdest thing. But like if I'm going to sit down somewhere for majority of the time, right? I may not mind throwing on that Jordan 4, right? I may not mind that. But if I'm going to be on my feet for extended periods with little to nowhere to sit, it's not my first option. It's just not. I would actually still rather stand in a Jordan 1 than I would a 4, unless it's an off-white 4. The off-white 4 is like that anomaly, and maybe it's because it was just constructed better in that way, but the off-white 4 tends to be that anomaly. But no, if I know that I have to be on my feet all day, then I am reaching for any of the comfortable sneakers that I have, and I have tons of options. Okay, I still have a Wave Runner. I have tons of options. Okay, so in number 3, it would be versatility for me. It would be not in terms of like how many fits can I pull off with this sneaker. More so, what's the range of style that I can get from this sneaker? And you guys have been able to see that with some of my shoes where I've intentionally done, can I
Yo, I just said all of that and my mic was muted. Are you Yo, Tyler, go ahead, get out. Because I just I just said a lot. Yo, I just said a lot. All right. Let me go back. Ego. Think of hype. Man, I just explained the whole deal. Think of hype as far as like how much excitement or big news or maybe resale, or maybe it's the person that the shoe might be attached to. I'll go with the typical Travis Scott, right? It might be a shoe that's gonna have a high resale value. It's gonna be limited as far as stock. It's gonna be very difficult to get. Everybody in the mama, including resellers, is gonna go after this shoe. But think of hype as far as like that excitement or that attention. That yeah, I was muted that entire time. All right, so he said this lady is complaining about wearing a sneaker like it's a high heel. No sneaker should be uncomfortable if it's the right size. Now, even though you post a very good point, I will confirm that not every Nike or Jordan brand sneaker is the most comfortable. I will admit that. And I mean that's for like certain reasons, right? Different shoes are cut different ways and stuff like that, and they're designed to mold your foot in different ways. So not every sneaker for me is quote unquote comfortable. I will go with a common one, which is called the Fire Red 4. I would tell you right now, not all Jordan 4s are equal, as far as comfort wise. but the fire red in particular, there's certain shapes and molds and models that they they used to call it the pinky toe killer. So I like your pinky toe would just depending on your foot, if you got a fat foot, wide foot, whatever or whatever. But man, that would just it would smash your pinky toes, something vicious, and it was just like a complaint that like a lot of people, including myself, would have. They ended up changing the shape on the shoe, and now I don't have that pinky toe issue. But yeah, that's say, man, this is such a good time to be a sneakerhead. It is because man, a lot of kicks are available, and the next video I'm gonna do, I won't be able to go live tomorrow because I got league tomorrow, but who knows? Maybe I'll go live in the morning. But the next video I'm gonna make is actually how to sell shoes on GOAT because yeah, I'm gonna start putting some kicks up. But let me get back to it. We're not gonna watch this whole video, but she does raise some good points. And if y'all don't know who TJ is, like she makes some pretty impactful videos. I actually like her take on a lot of topics. I don't agree with everything she says, but she actually does have some pretty good points. I actually like her content.
I dress this shoe up? Can I dress it down? Can I dress it down casually to go do anything and whatever, where it's looking like I'm just going to hang out with my friends, and then versus like I'm going into office because it's, business casual, or I have a meeting or something. I enjoy doing that. And I find that a lot of shoes can have that range and versatility for me. So that's what I think of when I think of versatility. Can I pack that one sneaker for a 5-day trip and be more than okay? Now,
hey Tyler, maturing is realizing LeBrons are higher quality, more unique, comfortable, and affordable than J's. And you see, this right here is a very solid take and a very good point because a lot of people would just, put J's on that platform and say nothing is better than a Jordan. I don't care what no one says. And it's like, yeah, but not every Jordan has the best quality. Not every Jordan is the most comfortable. Not every Jordan is in the price range for people, or like all of the above. So the mere fact that Sneaker Tyler is sitting here saying, yo, I rock LeBrons, they're comfortable, I like the quality, it's affordable, higher quality. Like the mere fact that he's saying that, yo, that's what makes you a true sneakerhead right there. It's just the mere fact that and it doesn't matter, man. I don't care if you like Vans, like none of, or Crocs. Man, look, man, you like what you like, wear what's comfortable and affordable and all that stuff, like for you. And that's what I like is the uniqueness behind, we don't all have to be the same. Like flat out. Like we really don't. I know a lot of other people are going to tell you, you must like this and you must do that and all that. Look, man, I'll tell you right now, for those of you that know me, I'm always going against the grain. So if everybody's going left, I promise you I ain't going left. That's just the way I am.
I normally have to take like a different sneaker for working out or especially for running, but can I take that one pair and be able to get away with a multitude of fits? Whether, again, it can be dressing up, it can be dressing down. Can I get away with that? That's what I care about when it comes to the versatility. And then if we're talking about the hype doesn't factor in to me wanting the shoe or not. I understand a little bit of hype is like excites people, but for me personally, hype can land a shoe on my radar because it's everywhere, because it's being talked about everywhere all the time. It doesn't matter on what platform, it doesn't matter what media outlet, it's being talked about everywhere and by everyone. That can easily land a sneaker on my radar. That doesn't mean that it's really playing that big of a factor in if I'm buying the shoe or not. I've bought plenty of sneakers, especially in the last 2 years, that doesn't necessarily have the hype based on what you all get hyped or excited about when it comes to sneaker YouTube, or what people get hyped or excited about when it comes to their top 5, or like, once we're near the end of the year. So the hype is like, I don't know, consequential. I don't care. Like, I just don't. For a lot of the shoes that I picked up, right, I have that Adidas Adistar Control 5. White and silver and black. Is it hyped up right now? No, not really. You guys wouldn't sit there and watch a full review on it like that. So I bought it because I was excited about it, and it was $61. It was an amazing price for me to be able to enjoy that shoe. I also have, we'll talk about a shoe. Maybe I'll be able to show that on camera because it'll probably factor into what I would like for my list to be. Okay, so maybe we'll end up showing that, but I also have some other shoes to show. So hype, it doesn't really factor in for me. That's like people saying, oh my god, like, have you seen the resale price? I don't care. That does not factor into the shoe if I want to buy it. Okay, it just doesn't. Now, if I had to swap these around, hype is getting cut. It's getting cut. Don't care. It's not a factor, right? Hype is being cut. So now that we've cut hype, number one above all else, design. The sneaker needs to actually appeal to me. Listen, the sneaker better appeal to me because the story may not save it. If I think the shoe is hideous, no amount of comfort, no amount of versatility, no amount of hype is saving it. Let's bring it up again like I always do. That dino exoskeleton you all wore on your feet and hype to high heavens in the foam runner. Y'all really were trying to convince me, 2J, if you just try it on, and then y'all got mad at me when I said, oh, y'all date people that you're not physically attracted to just because they can check other boxes. You need to be attracted to the shoe. You need to actually like the shoe. The design, it should matter. It should be number one. That design needs to be something that you appreciate. Okay.
And once again, I am on board with that. I actually am on board with that. All right, let me run through some comments, and then because I'm not gonna go through. There's only a little bit more here. And she starts breaking down some stuff. All right, let me run through some comments real quick. Let me see. Does versatility mean how many outfits you can rock with it, or how many sports you can play with the shoe? Absolutely. Think of versatility as how many different occasions you can rock something, or what you can do with it. You know what I mean? If you put on a running shoe and it's solely just designed for running, you know what I mean? You might not want to take that shoe and go to a casual dinner with it or something like that. So the versatility does matter. Or maybe it doesn't. Well, like maybe the versatility doesn't matter to a person, right? But versatility does matter to me as well. But I like I like the way that she originally had put. Now, I had put a post on I had put a comment on TJ because I wanted to make it clear that I don't think hype is a non-factor. Do I buy a shoe based off of the resale value? For full transparency, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm going to say yes and no. So for personal reasons, I would say no. Like, the hype doesn't really matter. If I like a shoe, I'm gonna get it regardless. Everybody can be talking bad about it, and I'm like, yeah, I hear you. That's a cop for me, and I'll say it. That's a mandatory copper for me. If y'all don't like it, y'all don't like it. I hear you. I do, right? But watch this. I have purchased shoes in the past that I particularly didn't really care for, but because they were hyped, I went for them, I got them, and I sold them. So now I would use that shoe, this hyped up shoe, even though I don't personally care about it. I would use it for what's called trade bait. I would get rid of that and get something that I actually do want, but I was able to get it. I got it, and I got rid of it. I gave it to somebody who really wants it, and that's kind of like, you know what I mean? That's my way of giving it into the hands of someone who really wants it. I'm gonna release the shoe, then I'm gonna get something else that I want. So I kind of want to throw that out there. Sneaker Tyler said, he said, I'm not a big fan of specifically wearing or seeing hype sneakers. I really like when somebody can pull out a hidden gem or unique sneakers that complements the fit too. Many people rely on hype sneakers, which, I mean, correct. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's really easy. I'm just picking on Travis Scott just to pick on Travis Scott. But I think it's really easy to throw a Travis Scott on your foot, and everybody and their mama's gonna look down and see it and be like, yo, nice Travis. I mean, I do it all the time. I'm constantly complimenting people, you know what I mean, with their sneakers. And they don't just have to be a hype kick, of course. But when I'm out and about, I'm like a foot connoisseur, man. I'm always looking at people's feet. Actually, one of the first things I look at when I'm out in public is like it's feet. Like, I'm literally looking down and seeing what type of footing that people are wearing, you know what I mean? And it doesn't have to be a Nike or a Jordan, you know what I mean? Like, when I see a nice kick, man, I compliment it. That's one of the things that I do. After being really into sneakers for about 3 years now, I'm really starting to refine my collection. Same here. I'm actually going to be selling more. I've been selling some kicks. The last pair of kicks I sold was some Gamma 11s, and I'm gonna get on Goat, put some. So I typically sell on like Facebook Marketplace, and people just reach out to me, you know, behind the scenes and just ask what I have and whatever. I got a bunch of friends that's been buying shoes for me, but just to kind of give y'all a little hint of what I got over here. Matter of fact, let's knock this video out and then I'll get back to it. No Ego said comfort can be a misleading category because some shoes need to be broken in before they become comfortable, and that is a 100% fact. You're absolutely right. I haven't. Well, they're broken in now, but just as an example, the Air Jordan 4 SB sneakers, those are comfortable. Slide on foot, straight out the box, comfortable. My Nigel, brick after bricks, those are Air Jordan 4s as well. Out the box, on foot, comfortable, right? But to your point, you're absolutely right. It could be misleading because there are some shoes you do have to break in. You're absolutely spot on. I agree with that. Sneaker Tyler said using hype sneakers for trait bait is definitely the move. Oh yeah, for sure. It's a strategy, you know what I mean, for sure, because you know something that you really want to really like might have a high resale value, and you might be able to come up on a hype kick that you don't care about, and you're like, yo, I'm about to trade this off, man, and get something that I really want. All right, now that I knocked out these comments, I'm gonna let her finish her piece here.
Okay. And then number one is design. And that is so subjective because what I like, I don't need you to like. For all the men that are always screaming, we're never going to stop wearing Nike and Jordans for Asics, New Balance. Okay, cool. First off, calm down and go to therapy. Why are you so angry? In the comments, you guys type that shit in all caps. 2, don't wear it then.
Facts.
Design is so subjective. But for me, it would be design. 2, and then we're going to go into colorway. Because there are shoes where I really like the design. A colorway just may not do it for me though. But once I see another colorway, it does everything for me. So we're going to go with number 2 for the colorway. And then 3 is actually where, again, because I already said like comfort is big, but 3 is where comfort is going to come in. Because I still want it to be extremely comfortable. Like I really, really do. Actually, this is tough because like comfort, if I already love the design, would I care more about it being comfortable or the colorway? Because I still don't want to wear something ugly. Okay, you know what? Because almost every shoe will come in like.
With the Kobe Dunks, I went a half size up. And that's because, you know, we have that React on the inside there, that insole, which tends just to take up a super. If anybody knows how these Reacts are, you know. But does take up a little bit more space. So me personally, I went a half size up. Actually, I don't think I went. Yeah, I did. I went 12.5 with the Merriam pair. Yeah, I believe I went 12.5. So I half sized up on them just because of the insole, which is dumb comfortable.
All white or all sale, I'm actually going to swap it here based on my list. Number 1 will be design. Number 2 will be comfort. Number 1 will be design. 2 will be comfort. 3 will be colorway.
Now, for me personally, once again, I would switch that up because obviously the design does have to be there, right? Because now she's making her own list. But I will switch it up. I will go design, colorway, then comfort. And trust me, I understand that comfort is important. You know what I mean? Like when I was younger, I didn't really care about how comfortable, you know, it was, man. If I like something, I'm throwing it on foot. It didn't really matter how it felt. I was gonna tough it out. You know what I mean? But now that I'm older, I ain't trying to take my shoes off and have them jacked up feet. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to be walking and. You see that a lot, like with women in general. You know, No Ego had mentioned, you know, earlier, about. Let me find that comment real quick. Right here, said this lady's complaining about wearing a sneaker like it's a high heel. You know, like some women sacrifice their dogs. Man, some women, a lot of women sacrifice their feet just to look cute. So you can tell the comfort is out the window. You can tell from they, you know, throughout the night they walk in and, you know, they bopping and whatnot. And, you know, they're taking these real tiny short steps because their feet's killing them. You look real cute in them shoes, but man, it is destroying your dogs. You know what I mean? So that's the sacrifice, looking cute for comfort, you know? So as I've gotten older, yeah, man, comfort definitely plays a fact, man. I mean, uh. All right, no ego said colorway and design is a 1A and 1B. I'm right there with you. They go hand in hand. You can have a sweet design with bogus colors or nice colors with a whack design. 100%. I mean, 100%. You know, because there are a lot of Jordan silhouettes that I personally like, right? I can say without any doubt, if you pick a Jordan 1 through 14, and I literally just added the 15 into my collection, but so I would say for me personally, let's just go 1 through 15. We can go silhouette 1 through 15, and I like them all. I like every silhouette 1 through 15. So now that I can tell you I like the silhouette. Do I like every shoe that they drop? Absolutely not. And the question would be like, well, why not? If you like this the shoe, you like the shoe. And that's because of the color. The color is what's gonna make me shake my head and say, yeah, I'm passing on those, I'm passing on these, I'm passing on those. So the colorway does do it, even though the design is there. So the design can be there, but if the color's wrong, I'm not even looking at it. And once again, I don't really care how comfortable it is at that point. If the colorway ain't right for me, I'm passing on it. Sneaky Tyler said, I want that React X like the Kobe Dunks in the Jordans. Bro, I've been sad because I absolutely agree with you. I mean, the comfort is definitely there, right? Even if they didn't, because let's just be realistic. Nike and Jordan brand is charging more money and they're giving us worse everything, right? They give us worse materials and everything. They charge more money. They're not giving us extra laces and shoe trees and design and presentation of boxes and packaging and all that stuff, right? They're not, excuse me, they're not giving us hang tags, you name it. You know what I mean? The QCB off, whatever. And I'm not saying that's on every shoe, but generally speaking, you know what I mean? Like more for less. They're charging us more money and we're getting less, right? At least they should give us the option to pay more, to say, if you want this React, then pay a little bit more and we'll give you this insole in order to make a shoe comfortable. But we don't have to even the option to even do that. It's crazy. No Ego said, exactly. Those women dancing and walking blocks in 4-inch heels with only 2 straps holding the shoe to their feet are the ones making the true sacrifice. You ain't never lie. You know what I mean? It's like, you look cute, but wow. You know what I mean? That's the price you pay for looking cute. You know what I mean? You better put some flats on if you're about to walk. You know what I mean? Hold them high heels in your hands. Look cute when you sit down. You ain't never lie. All right, I'm going to let TJ finish so we can get back to it.
And then number 4 is where versatility comes in.
Hey, and she took hype all over.
So that's where we will slide versatility in, because I would still like to be able to do a number of different things with this shoe. I'm not going to get away with that with every single sneaker. Like, I'm just not. It's not realistic. Some sneakers are definitely more performance driven. They are more relaxed. It may not look the best if you're trying to dress it up. I don't care how hard you're trying. It just may not work, and that's okay. So I actually do kind of want to pull some shoes out. And I saw some people say price. I think price would be that extra little bonus that's in there somewhere, because if all of those things are met, and then it will come down to how much value do I think I'm getting with all of those things in place, those 4 elements, for the price of the shoe. And then we're getting into like cost per wear when it comes to that, right? But let's just take a look at this, right? And I'm sure with the light, it's probably going to be like blown out some.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing that and get back on screen here. All right, Sneaky Tyler said, I'm happy with Dream Cell. That insole is definitely good. Yeah, the Dream Cell actually feels pretty good. The Dream Cell does, and we don't get that every time, but the Dream Cell does feel pretty good on foot. Let me see. Zach said, don't diss Talks with TJ. Oh, nah, Zach. I actually enjoy TJ's content. Definitely not dissing TJ at all. Man, I actually enjoy her content. Nah, I ain't hating on TJ. Tyler said, bro, have you noticed that there's been like hardly any SB dunks this year? I have noticed that. I sure enough have. What year was it when we were just getting SB dunk after SB dunk? Was it 24? Was it 2024? We were just getting SB dunk after, and they were super comfortable, flying. Price Price was definitely there. They'll give us like 5 laces on them. Obviously, we had the SB Comfort. We definitely had the quality, the QC, like the materials on it. I mean, like SB Dunks was just like the thing, man. And then you're right, they just kind of put a halt to it. Definitely put a halt to it. It's crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, that is crazy. But now comfort, versatility, all of that stuff actually does take a factor. And I mean, heck, man, even cost, right? Even cost. Now, I can admit, now that I'm older and I mean, things in life are a little bit different for me as far as like financially. You know what I mean? I can spend $300 on a shoe. Do I want to? No. Well, of course I don't want to. But like the bin, like the bins, right? I can spend 350 on a shoe. You know, whatever. But then again, I mean, Sneaker Tyler has said this earlier. I am also refining my collection because, man, this is gonna sound so weird. There are times when I come into my basement. Pause. I come downstairs into the basement and I literally just sit here. I literally sit here and I'm just like this. And I look around in my basement here and you can't see like on camera. Yeah. The display that this display kind of wraps around, right? So I have shoes just all up top. Like don't like none of that is empty boxes up there, right? Right. And this display kind of wraps it wraps around, right? And even behind my lighting over here, even behind my lighting, there's another display of shoes that I got for sale. Right. My camera is acting like a hater right now. But there are times, there are times when I literally sit here in my basement and I'm like, why do you have so many shoes? And I'm not saying that to be like disrespectful to anyone who got like shoes, man. I know people that have collections way bigger and way more extreme than mine. But I literally sit here and be like, why do you have so? Which is the reason why I've been selling a lot. Now, there's a lot of other things that I do, right? There's a lot of other things. I invest into the stock market. I have physical gold and silver, like coins and stuff like that. There's a lot of other things that I do, but there have been times when I've sat here and been like, why? Like you have 2 feet, sir. Sir, you have 2 feet. And some of it is like the nostalgia of it. I did have a lot of Jordans, growing up as a kid. I did hoop in my shoes. I've had a lot of these shoes in the past, and there was nothing there wasn't a fiber in my body that had ever thought, why don't you hold on to these, because it can have some value in the future, or you can get them repaired, restored and stuff. There wasn't a fiber of me that even thought that. I used to just throw them in the trash and get another pair, because I would hoop in my J's. And I've also, when I moved out to Colorado from New York back in 2004, I left a lot of stuff. I mean, like Averex jackets, leather jackets, 8-ball jackets. Man, I left so much stuff behind, like when I moved, right? So I didn't even. So anyway, I'm older and I got money, right? I can afford to buy whatever I want, and what I mean, all that stuff. So there was a part of me that kind of had reached back, and tapped into like that nostalgic childhood to say, hey, now I can afford to, buy things that either I had it before, or B, I didn't have it, you know what I mean? But so I do appreciate the retros. But this is the danger behind Nike and Jordan Brand opening up the vault. This is the danger behind it. And this is coming from a 46-year-old person. This is coming from Nike Jordan Brand. You done had this vault open for a couple of years. And I'm telling you right now, I practically like completed my collection now. Like white cement 3s and 4s and black cats and black cements and bread 1s and the 4 horsemen and all that, and military blues and Columbia 11s and gammas and black cats. And I got all that. Like I have all of that now. You know what I mean? Like I really don't need nothing else. You know what I mean? All right, maybe a couple of one-off collabs or what, but as far as like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you need these. I don't. I got undefeated fours, man. I got Woo Dunks. You know what I mean? Like I got Tokyo fives. Oh, like I don't need much more. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Not need. Of course, the Space Jam. I already got Space Jams actually. I got Space Jam 11s. I don't have Space Jam 9s. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. My collection is actually kind of, it's already done. Yeah. Oh yeah. Those the Sean Jordans, man, joints was dope. The Costco. I want a pair. Man, I am a sucker for gray. I want a pair of those Costco SBs. The Bronx Girls. I remember the Bronx Girls. Yep. Yep. So I want a pair of those Costco Dunks. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the resale on those kind of went up. Let me look that up real quick. I think the resale on that moved a little bit on those Costco. And I like how simplistic that shoe is actually. I actually like how simplistic it is. That Costco Dunk. Let's see. Let's see where we at. Nike Dunk. Where you at? All right. Dang, why am I not finding it here? Come on. Why am I not finding it? Where is it at? All right, let's try something else. Is it called the Kirklands? Costco Kirkland? All right, let me try that. And let me try. All right, here we go. I was calling it the Costco, so it's called the Kirklands. On the struggle. Oh, are you serious? 1,500 for a size 7? All right, so 12 and 13. Yeah, you see, I actually, man, I like these. I want a pair of these. And like I said, it's simple. It's like simplistic. But man, I'm a sucker for gray, man. Like this gray, this man, slap some white laces in here, and these joints would be tough. Technically, I mean, you can put any lace you want. Any color lace is gonna pop. In a neutral colorway like this, any color lace is gonna pop. But I would keep this so simple, bro. Throw a white lace in there and just rock these joints to the heavens. $944 for a size 13, $632 for a 12. Now I can fit anywhere between a 12, 12 and a half, and 13. Well, good googly moogly. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. He said, yeah, that was only 4 SB dunks this year. He said, yeah, I'm getting to a point to where my collection is almost complete and I'm working on my styling. I'm also kind of ready to stop spending so much money on Jordans and sneakers. I am right. No, I mean, when I tell you like I am right there, like I really am. Earlier last year in November, when thanks to y'all, when I was working on getting monetized on YouTube, I am monetized. I got monetized last year, November 2025. Um, I was talking about starting another channel. So wasn't necessarily going to shut this one down, but I was going to start a finance channel. And on that finance channel, not being that technically you got to say it's not financial advice, but ultimately it was like an entry level or beginner's guide to investing into the stock market. I got involved in the stock market in 2020 during the whole Corona thing. I've learned so much, man. I've learned so much. I've lost so much money. I've made so much money. If I was to tell y'all some of the numbers, if I was to throw out some numbers behind what I've made in the stock market and then what I've lost, and then that's when I was like, all right, let me pause, let me stop, let me learn something instead of just jumping on this GameStop options and instead of me just jumping on because there was so much going on during that time that was kind of like a once in a lifetime kind of generational deal. You know what I mean? But anyway, I say all of that to say, I would like to start a finance channel, but there's a lot of good information out there and all these finance gurus, right? You got gurus and everything, right? I don't want to like get too technical and complicated and looking up RSI support levels and resistance and all that stuff. Even that's all basic stuff, looking up spreadsheets and all that stuff, earnings, listening to earnings calls, because I do like literally all that stuff, but I want to make like investing for like I want to make a channel like investing for like beginners, you know what I mean? For like that entry level. If you don't know nothing about the stock market and you're just scared, you know what I mean? Because let's just be honest, man. We have to respect our buck, you know what I mean? And whenever you start talking about money, sometimes topics and people can get a little funny when you talk about money. But with all of that being said, um, stock market investing is definitely a way to go. There's something that's called the 3 pillars of wealth, and I'll talk about this. For those of you that know me, I have a moving business. I live in Colorado. I have a moving business out here called Cornerstone Moving. I've had this business about 15 years. Um, there's something called the 3 pillars of wealth, and that's entrepreneurship, real estate, and stock market. Those are called the 3 pillars of wealth. And if you come across anybody who has even just a little bit of money, think about your favorite actor, actress, your favorite entertainer, rapper, singer, whoever, right? Whatever. Think about your favorite whoever. They're gonna have one of the three, if not all of three. So I'm gonna pick on Rick Ross, but if you like his music or not, right? Don't matter. I'm gonna pick on Rick Ross. I'm gonna pick on Jay-Z. If you like their music or not, it don't matter. Rick Ross, he's popped up into a couple of movies. He's doing his acting, right? Obviously, he's a rapper, right? And then what do you hear him talk about? Whoa, whoa, Wingstop, lemon pepper chicken wings. Whoa. The man invests in 2 Wingstops. So he got entrepreneurship going, right? He has real estate going. You see what I'm saying? You see where I'm going here? Whether he invests in the stock market or not, I don't know. My whole point is that it's called 3 pillars of wealth. Anybody who has any amount of money is gonna. I don't know this AI camera. I'm making these hand gestures and it's just making it zoom in. But anybody who has any amount of money, they're gonna have one of the three. I guarantee you. Jay-Z started collecting art. He back in the day he had the 40/40 club, and look at Diddy, with the alcohol and like all of that. Entrepreneurship. It's entrepreneurship. I ain't gonna talk your ear off, but there are some other things, that I'm currently doing, and let's tap into it. He said this is true. But with them opening the vault, we have been copying so many sneakers because there are so many good releases in the past couple of years. It's been hard not to. That's 100% correct. I think the hobby is fine. No disrespect if hobby isn't the correct word, but if you're able to resell the shoe for a profit or break even, I think it's okay. Yeah, and honestly, that's just me kind of beating myself up a little bit. You know what I mean? Everybody has their own thing, and there are always times when people will jump into the comment section and I am a defender of freedom. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm self-employed, so one of the things that I always tell people is, for me, one of the things that's even more important than money is actually freedom. freedom is very important for me. And being self-employed, I get to express myself because I'm free. I am free. Um, I just got back from New York, right? I was in New York for like 13 days. Self-employed, man. I didn't have to ask nobody for no time off, right? Whenever my kids are older now, but whenever my kids had like sporting events and my son had basketball games and he's doing his AAU plus he's playing, ball in school and all that stuff, I didn't have to ask nobody, can I go to my kid's game but I go. I'm free. You know what I mean? So the freedom is very important. So everybody has their own thing. Every once in a while, people would jump on here and be like, look at this old ass man still buying sneakers like you're young. You're so dumb, wasting your money on it. You need to invest into real estate. You need to invest into this and that. You probably living in your mama's basement and all. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? I got my own crib, man. You know what I mean? I got cars, man. I got I do all that stuff too. You know what I mean? But we kind of just don't talk about it. Well, here we actually do talk about it. I ain't gonna lie. We do talk about it here. But I'm like, man, like, what makes you think I'm 46 years old and living in my mama's basement, man? I'm married with kids, man. I'm a man. You know what I mean? Like, I got stuff. You know what I mean? So just because I got a bunch of sneakers, I mean, I'm a freaking bum and I don't pay my bills, right? I don't pay my mortgage, right? So, but there are times when I actually beat myself up because and there's a lot of things that I do that, like, man, like, I'm a church drummer, man. I play the drums in church, right? We host outreaches, man, where we serve the community. This past Christmas, man, God put it on my heart, like, straight up. I can't make this up. This ain't my own story. God put it on my heart to do feet. He said do feet during the outreach, because normally during the outreach, I'm out and about with the community, and we man, we have all these stations set up. We got live music, man. We have a haircut barbers there where they're just doing haircuts. My wife handles like the hot food. We have cold food and turkeys and kits and gifts for children and bounce house and petting zoo, live animals. I mean, we got so much going on with our outreaches, man, to where, like, we are literally blessing the community. And normally what I do is I normally kind of work the security during these events and make sure everything's cool. And then I normally just walking through the line and I'm praying with people in the line. So I'm introducing myself. I'm showing myself to be extremely friendly, right? Because we have people in need, and the last thing those people in need have to feel is like unwelcomed. So I want people to feel welcomed, right? And I'm praying with you. Anything I can pray for you about, what's going on in your world. My name is Derek. I go to Heart for the World Christian Center. I've been part of this ministry for the past 14, 15 years. Here goes the pastor over there. Hey, pastor, come over. This is Robert. And that's just me. And God put it in my heart. He said, do feet. He said, do feet. And I said, okay. So when I say I was doing feet, we have a bunch of sneakers. I give sneakers away, all that stuff, right? But the doing feet part was, you might not be able to get a new pair of sneakers, right? But I can clean the ones you have on your feet right now. And man, I had a line. When I tell you, I had a line of people that was excited, and you should see the smiles on their faces, because whatever they had on foot, I was cleaning it up for them right there on the spot. Just like how they do it in the mall. You know what I mean? Man, I was nonstop working, man. And it was such a blessing for me to be able to serve and help out others. I could talk about that all day. He said, if you're like me, you just got into sneakers in the past 3 years, have been really steady. Copping releases, you basically have a whole collection of Vault Grails and OGs. It's fire, bro. The way the sneaker community has transformed is amazing. I mean, like, we have gotten so much to where we touched this last night, to where now if you cop something for retail, like, people look at that almost like a bad thing. Like, oh, you stupid. I wouldn't pay full price for a sneaker. And it's like, man, don't get me wrong. I got this shirt for a reason. This shirt says Juicy Deal for a reason, because if you be patient, you know what I mean? If you be patient, man, you can actually get something for below retail. I'm gonna do some of these comments. It's my fault. I was talking a lot because I'm a talker and I'm lonely. And I'm by myself. So you know what that means? You just gotta put some music on. Yeah. You can tell us that I got a couple of hype sneakers. I'm going to sell and pay for a list of reachbacks and start the reachbacks facts. But the collecting is almost near finished and got enough kicks for the next 10 years. Same. Oh yeah, good looking out. I had to do that. Teen Sands Club. Okay. Yeah, man. I like those SBs. I want a pair. I didn't know the resale went up on those like crazy. The last time I checked those, they weren't that high. I would totally tune in if you made videos like that. Peace. Insurance as well. Oh my goodness. Gas station. Oh my. I cannot tell you how many of my friends my age that don't have any insurance, man. Oh my goodness. That's actually kind of scary. He said hype is definitely not a factor when it comes to buying sneakers. And you see, there's a part of me that I even said this on Talks with TJ because I had put a comment on that post. I agree with that. But I can't say hype is an absolute non-factor, and because I kind of dug back into my childhood. When I was a kid, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. When I was a kid, they had that whole campaign of like Mike. If I can be like Mike, I want to be like Mike. I brought into that whole Michael Jordan thing when I was a kid, man. Like I literally wanted to be like Michael Jordan. At 46 years old, I don't want to be like Mike no more. But I can't omit the fact that the early hype from my childhood is what sustained me, throughout the years of me just kind of doing the things that I did. And when I say I want to be like Mike, I'm not just talking about like on the sake of a sneaker. I was talking about kind of like how, like, let's admit it. Kobe wanted to be like Mike. Kobe's entire game and style is based off of Mike. So it's not like that's a bad thing. Like I wanted that work ethic. You know what I mean? Like to put that work ethic in order to achieve greatness. That's the like Mike that I wanted to be like. So it was even off the court, to be honest with you. Like literally it was off the court. I used to do things when I was a kid. Nobody had to tell me to go work on shooting drills or dribble drills or whatever. I will be in my parents' basement in Queens, New York, Southside Jamaica, Queens, right? So where I'm born and raised at. I'll be in their basement. They had like these concrete floors, but I had like this linoleum tile. Anyway, I will be sitting on the edge of my bed watching The Simpsons. I'm a kid. That's how long The Simpsons been on. And I'll be doing like low dribble drills in my parents' house. Between the legs. For hours. I will lay in my bed. I will be laying in my bed and I'll be working on my release, trying to see how close I can get the ball to get to the ceiling without touching the ceiling, right? As I'm laying in my bed, working on my release like this. For hours. Nobody had to come and tell me, did you practice today? Did you work on your drill? Nobody had to come in and ask me that, man. I was doing stuff like that for hours. And I used to find it insulting. I used to, like, when I was younger, I used to find it insulting whenever people would say stuff like this. And I'm going to say it. Well, of course you can play basketball. You're black. Of course you could run fast. You're black. Of course you could jump high. You're black. Of course you got muscles. You're black. Man, that is so messed up. Don't get me wrong. Genetics does play a part in things. I'm not going to sit there and act like it doesn't. I'm not going to say genetics don't. But it's not fair. It is totally not fair for you to not see the work ethic, for you to not see the process that people go through. And then whenever they get good at something, you just write it all off as if like you were just born that way. That's a big time negative there. Remember, Michael Jordan got cut from the team before he was Michael Jordan. Remember that. That man didn't just slam dunk, you know what I mean? That man didn't just walk on the court and just nailed every 3-pointer or nailed every shot he took or just started jumping from the free throw line. Just, you know what I mean? There was a process there. And sometimes people, man, that they omit that process, the hard work, and just write it off. You know what I mean? I ain't no trust fund baby, man. Like, truth be told, I give my parents money. My parents still live in New York, man. My parents live in the same broke down house I was raised in. I help my parents out. You know what I mean? I ain't no trust fund baby, man. Like, I had to work. I had to work for this stuff. Man, there's some hard work that goes. All right, my bad. Let me keep moving. And Tip, I just realized the shoe I didn't really like, and now I have them in hand and love the shoe. Is the What the 4. Yo, What the 4 is actually a fire shoe. He said it's such a fire shoe in hand. I can't believe it sat when it came out. I am actually a fan of like the What the series, right? I am actually a fan of it. The What the shoe is actually a fire. The What the 4 is a fire shoe, bro. But I am a fan of like the What the series. I wear my sneakers to work and to the gym only. I wear dress shoes when I go out. These YNs today wouldn't understand that. Yeah, you ain't never live jump, man. And I will be honest with you. I went to a wedding. I just got back from New York. I went to a wedding while I was out in New York, and I tried. Oh, my wife fought me on it, but I tried to wear my my Nigels, my Better With Time. I tried to wear my Nigels to the wedding. I was gonna put the black laces in and wear my Nigels, and my wife she wouldn't let me do it. But if my wife wasn't there, I would have done it. But this is the only reason why. Well, once again, I feel exactly what you're saying, but once again, I'm free. And when I tell you I'm free, I'm not saying this to be like cocky or bragging on that stuff, but because I'm free, I can literally do whatever I want. You know what I mean? Like, that's the freedom of like, that's the reason why I work as hard as I work. You know, I'm like, I wear J's to church. I drum with Jordans on my feet. You know what I mean? Like, like, I don't know. I'm not trying to sound like a rebel, because I said this in one of my videos. I'm a low key rebel, but I don't make like a lot of noise. But like, man, I ain't no kid, man. I can do what I want, and that's the freedom. I'm a big component of freedom. You know what I mean? I'm a big man. I can wear what I want. And if you got a dress code and I'm not meeting your dress code, I understand that. I respect it. I ain't gonna sit here and make a fuss. That's cool. I'm out. You know what I mean? He said, M Tip the king of juicy deal. Yeah, man. Like, you heard my rant about the whole YouTube deal, making these changes come February of next year, and I'm not a fan of it. But you know, there are a lot of ways to make money. You know what I mean? And you know, AdSense and videos and shorts, that's just one avenue. But yeah, man, I've been trying my hand out, you know, with some merch. Check out the new LeBron 24. It just got unveiled today. All right, we'll do. I'll check it out. But yeah, I mean, and watch this. I remember being at a basketball game. I was at a basketball game, and I was literally watching. I was literally looking around, and I was looking at the YNs that were there. You know what I mean? And I gave them their credit, right? Like, they got their own style, they got their own swag, or their own taste of music. They got their own everything. And as a 46-year-old person, I can tell you right now, they look at me and they're like, yo, Unc got style. Unc is cool. Yo, Unc, I like your shoes, or whatever the case is, right? Now, truth be told, I'm old enough to be their father. That's number one. That's for the guys and girls. Number one, I'm old enough to be their father. Number two, even though I am older, I don't carry myself like, oh yeah, you have to call me Mr. Derek. Nah, yeah, come on, man. I don't even act like that. That's how my parents operated. You go to my parents' house, my parents gonna be like, take your hat off when you come into my house. You know what I mean? That I've gone my life trying not to be like my parents. If you'll ever watch like those Allstate commercials or State Farm, whatever the commercial is, you know, they tell you ain't gotta be like your parents. And I'm most certainly not. I promise you I'm not. You know what I mean? All of my kids' friends that come over here to the crib or whatever, you know, they love hanging out with me. I'm not, I don't make it awkward and none of that stuff. I'm actually really cool. I'm one of those cool OGs, old guys. But I do give this generation their credit. They're cool in their own little right. I don't care if you wear hoodies in the summertime and none of that. If that's your style and that's your swag, man, look, that's your thing. I ain't mad at it. These kids are cool in their own little way. Are they as tough? Are they as tough as I would say in my generation? I'd probably say no. But they're tough in their own ways. Like I have never in my generation, I have never seen somebody pull out an AR from skinny jeans. I think that's so fly. How did you pull out an AR from your skinny jeans? Oh man, I don't know why I think that's so dope. I'm impressed. That comment was for the YNs who say we're too old for sneakers. Oh, okay, yeah. And some people would say that, you know what I mean? Like I've had people say that to me. I've actually had people say that to me, and this is like a legit like response. Like the reason why I wear Jordan sneakers is because I grew up in the era of watching Michael Jordan play basketball, right? I've watched Patrick Ewing, and I used to have Ewings back in the day. Ewing's was like his sneakers was like the joint. But I've had those. I've had LA Gears. I didn't have any British Knights, but we weren't allowed to wear BKs because BK stood for something else in the hood and weren't really allowed to wear those. But you know, I did grow up in that era. You know, the LA Gears. You take a step and it lights up. As a kid, I thought those were fly. I thought that was dope, right? But I grew up in that era. Now I'm 46 years old and I still wear Jordans. But then again, I mean, I don't just wear Jordans. I wear whatever I like or whatever's comfortable, you know, colorway, all that stuff. Kind of like what we're talking about in the purpose of this video. I say all of that to say this. What would look worse? What will look, I guess, out of place as a 46-year-old man? What would look worse if you look down at my feet and you saw that I had some Jordans on my feet, or if I had on like some Barneys or some SpongeBobs? 46-year-old man rocking some SpongeBobs. What will look worse? That's my question. Now, if you like SpongeBob, because I actually watch a lot of episodes of SpongeBob, but if that's your thing, that's your thing. But the point that I'm trying to make is, how would it look if I still had the straps? You know, like the little Velcro strap crossover joints. You know, like what the real old people wear because, you know, they can't tie their shoes anymore. I ain't laughing at them. That's what the old people be rocking. But how would it look if I had that on my feet? Look like a straight goof. Everybody's always going to have something to say. And I tried to tell this to my daughter, who actually might be watching this live right now. I tried to tell this to my daughter because I try not. Oh, my boy D is calling. When you get a certain age, when you're free, when you have freedom, you actually don't care what people have to say about you. You don't care. But I do understand when you're younger, it does matter, right? Whoever came up with that dumb saying, sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can never hurt me. Whoever came up with that dumb saying is an idiot. Because words do have a very strong impact. Words are powerful. Words are actually very powerful. Death and life is in the power of the tongue. There's actually a lot of power in our words. So whoever came up with that saying is an idiot. I'm tell you right now. I'm not defending that. Sticks and stones can break my bones with words. You can never hurt me with your words. Actually, we can hurt a lot of people with our words. Our words have a lot of impact. But I do understand peer pressure. I understand the pressure. I do understand that because I grew up in a different era. See, the era I grew up in, we weren't no. See, number one, we weren't no saints. I wasn't no saint when I was younger. So things that these YNs are doing now, hello, we already done that. That's the first thing. We ain't the older folks ain't really too surprised. Like I said, you heard me say, I think it's impressive the fact that they're pulling out ARs from underneath their from the skinny jeans. Like they legit have skinny jeans on pulling out. I'm like, oh snap, where he get that from? I think it's impressive, right? But they ain't really doing nothing we haven't done, you know, like in our generation. And I haven't done nothing that people before me really haven't done, to be honest with you. But I say all of that to kind of go along the lines of, when you have that freedom, right? When you get older and you have that freedom, you really don't care what other people think. You don't want to live your life trying to satisfy or please somebody who don't even like you. If you really think about that, why do we try to please and satisfy people that don't even like us? At least, if you were going to kiss somebody's butt, I'm not even joking. I'm not even talking about like your supervisor and all that. If you were going to kiss somebody's butt, at least kiss the butt of a person that actually likes you and cares about you. Like, if I was going to honor and really care about a person's feelings, let it be my wife, somebody who I actually love and someone who actually loves me. Let it be my children, somebody who I've nurtured. Let it be a close friend, like a brother or a neighbor. Let it actually be somebody who actually like you. If you're going to cater, if you are going to cater to somebody, and I'm not saying that's wrong, if you're going to cater to somebody, cater to somebody who actually likes you, not somebody who don't give two craps about you. And sometimes, man, we can be trying to impress the wrong people. And when you get older and you figure that out, man, it unlocks like a whole new thing. I promise you it does. I got to make certain content on YouTube. Yeah, I'm monetized. I get paid for content. I don't make much, right? I don't make much, but I enjoy doing it. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for, you know, everything. I'm grateful. But I enjoy doing it. And every YouTube guru is going to tell you, oh, don't make content that you want to enjoy because nobody cares about you. You got to provide value and you got to do this, you got to do that. You got to, you know what I mean? All that good stuff. And that's the reason why I make content the way that I do, actually. I make cleaning videos that doesn't get a lot of attention, but for the people that I do get to help, I've always said this, if I can help just one person, if I can help one person, I'll keep making content. If one person says, yo, how do you clean the mesh on these Jordan 11s? How do you clean the outsole? How do you clean the insole? How do you clean this? What do you use or whatever? If I can help one person, it's worth me dropping a video for. That's how I see it. He said, I'm curious, what are your predictions for the next couple of years of sneakers? I don't know what the timeline is. I would love to do a live about this because there's a part of me that feel like Nike and Jordan brand is going to fall off something vicious. There's going to be a fall off, a hard fall off. I don't know when that timeline is, but there's going to be a hard... Boom, I'm 46. Tyler, remind me how old you are in the comment section. I know you're either 28 or 32. I might be somewhere around there. I think you're 28. There's only a certain age group that's behind me, that's behind you, Ty. Whoever, he's 30. So I was close. I was right in between there. You're 30. So there are faithful sneakerheads behind you, right? I don't know how far, but this is the point that I'm trying to make. I'm here, you're here, and let's say there's a sneakerhead group right here. And as we all get older, there's no one else next in line. So we're going to begin to fade off. And that's the point that eventually, I'm not speaking nothing bad. Nobody gets to live forever, right? But eventually, MJ's going to disappear. Rest in peace, Kobe. He's already gone. Shaquille O'Neal's going to disappear. Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, people are going to disappear, right? Right? And I don't know who's next in line to pass the torch to. Because there's plenty to pass the torch to with Vans and New Balance and all that, and Asics and all that. There's plenty, you know, on cloud. There's plenty of runners out there and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Technology in the build. What up, fam? Yall, my guy Truth in the build. I don't know what that age group is, but eventually, wherever we at, the retros, you know, the diehard Nike brand Jordan people, and even if it's not just Jordans, you know what I mean? Like but they're catering to us. These YNs, I'm not gonna say none of them because there are some hype kicks. I do see some black hats on feet, right? The fives. The cool gray fives, I be seeing those on feet. When I was in New York, I did see a couple of the pink awakes, you know, on feet. Obviously, you know, Travis Scott's, you know, it's still pretty popular. Obviously, the Nigels are popular. But the point that I'm trying to make is nobody cares. I'm not saying nobody, because I love it. I'm sure y'all do too. But I'm saying this for the sake of the context, what I'm about to say. Nobody gives a damn about a shattered backboard 1. Nobody cares about a shattered backboard 1 anymore. Nobody cares about a Black Cat 3. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about a black cement 3. Nobody cares about a black cement 3 anymore. Nobody cares about a military blue. A Columbia 11. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about a band 1 low. Nobody cares about a black toe. Nobody cares. And I'm talking about the younger generation. I'm not talking about us. They don't care. See, I grew up in that generation. I meant to say this earlier. I grew up in that generation to where, this is why I'm not going to sit there and say, who cares, you know, if nobody likes you or whatever. Because when you're younger, it does matter. Because I grew up in that generation to where you would get laughed at. We used to call them skips. You would get laughed at if you had skips on your feet. And skips just mean like a non-name brand sneaker. You get laughed at. In today's culture, not only will you get laughed at, but you will go viral. That's the difference. You didn't go viral. Man, if I had a hole in my jeans, look, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, because I'm not the same person, right? God-fearing man now. But back then, if you laughed at me because I had a hole in my jeans, flat, I'm punching your face. We fighting at the school. We might even fight right there in the lunchroom or whatever. Because that's how we handle business. It's like a word, something's funny. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's the way it was. In today's culture, you will go viral. What are those? Right? I know we laugh at stuff like that, but if you think about it, that's a real event. Somebody got laughed, somebody got clowned about their sneakers. What are those? So now somebody who is less fortunate, who's probably just happy to have some sort of footing on their feet, now have to be exposed out in public and go viral because they don't have on a popular sneaker. And that's the pressure that these kids have in today's culture. I did not have that type of pressure. Going viral for every little mistake, man. Everybody's so quick to pull a camera out so that they can talk about your flaw and display it to the world. I didn't have that pressure. I didn't live no perfect life. I made plenty of mistakes. The world just don't know about it. It's crazy. He said, plus almost every release is going way under retail. I'm happy about and taking advantage, but Nike's gonna have to do something ASAP. And you know, Pre talked about this last night, man. Maybe Nike don't even care. Like, just maybe they don't. Maybe Nike don't even care. Maybe that's like a marketing ploy for Nike to say, you want to know what? let them go to the outlets because we know people are going to still buy them even for way cheaper. And guess what? They still got Nikes on their feet, which is still marketing and advertising for the brand. So we don't care if you spend $195 for that Jordan 1 or if you spend $80 for that Jordan 1. You still got that Jordan 1 on your feet. So there it is. Maybe Nike don't even care. I don't know. I can't speak for them. but maybe they don't. And I'm right there with you. I've been taking advantage of it as well. And go ahead and be lazy. Nike, go ahead and be lazy and keep giving us retro after retro. We're going to get retroed out. And we're going to get retroed out. It's the reason why is because we're going to turn around and take a look and turn back and say, I don't need those. I don't need them. Oh, we are re-releasing the cool gray. Don't need them. Oh, we 2030, we're going to get the black cement. Don't need them. 2030, watch out. Holiday season. Gamma 11s. Don't need them. Black cat. Don't need them. Red 13s. Don't need them. Red 11s. Don't need them. It's only a matter of time. We're gonna release the Kobe. The Grinch and reverse Grinch. I ain't gonna lie, I still need those. I still need them. But y'all got them. I know y'all got them. Don't need them. It's only a matter of time. Like it's going to happen. It's gonna happen. What up, fam? Steven Jackson's in there. Yo, this is my guy Steve right here. Big sneakerhead right here. Back home, it's one of my boys right here. Big facts. It's a dope time to be able to go to Green Acres where World Foot Locker just opened. Yeah, that East Bay magazine and be able to get that. Hard facts. This is a big sneakerhead right here. I know him from back home. Former hooper as well. He hooped very hard. You know what I mean? Absolutely. You can tell the Jordan 4 is about played out, especially with these weird non-OG colorways. Like the Birds of Paradise and the comic books. Yeah, they're just literally throwing anything out the wall. You know what I mean? I'm not touching not a pair of them sneakers, bro. And the retail price in these retros are out of hand. Hard facts, bro. Hard facts. I mean, absolute facts right there. Steve, it's crazy, man. Steve, I was just in New York for like 13 days, fam. And I was ripping and running. I was doing the most. I even went to go hoop. I even hooped when I was out there. My old self went out there and hooped and actually played good. It was amazing. And I didn't hurt myself. Meaning I ain't pulled nothing and wasn't all sore, none of that stuff, man. It was actually, I had a blast, but that humidity kicked my entire butt. I was staying out in Lawton at my in-laws' house, and they had a power outage on one of those days. It was a rainstorm and power went out for a couple of hours. I don't know what Con Edison was doing, but it was hot inside that house. It was hot. The humidity was kicking my butt. But yeah, man, shout out to everybody who tapped in today, man. We took a look at this at this list, and I wouldn't say that hype really doesn't play a factor whenever I pick up a kick. It really don't. I'm not going to get a shoe just because it's hyped or whatever the case is, but I wouldn't go as far to say that hype is a non-factor. I wouldn't say it's a complete non-factor, and that's only because I bought into the hype of being like Mike when I was a kid. I did. Basketball after 40 gets different, bro. You ain't never lie. Got to stretch before. Yeah. He said we got to stretch before we start stretching. You ain't never lie. You ain't never lie. The warm-ups be serious. But you want to know what? Not only is that true, but just staying active is how we're going to be able to continue to move the way you move. Fam, I already have close friends my age, 46 years old. I already have close friends my age, diabetics. One of my brothers, one of my very, very close friends, known him since the 3rd grade, he's already legally blind, and he's already missing all of his toes on his right foot. They've been amputated because of diabetes. at 40. Technically, he's 45 because his birthday is in October. At 45 years old, we have to take care of our bodies. Staying active. We have to take care of our bodies. We have to. I've lost friends in high school that died from Rona. They're gone in 2020. The Rona got them. We got to take care of their bodies. I have friends out here in Colorado. They're still alive. They already had heart attacks. They already had brain aneurysms. They already had strokes in their 40s. We have to take care of ourselves. Before I get up, I'm going to share something very personal with y'all. Something that y'all already know. This October 30th, 2026 makes 16 years of me being sober from alcohol. I had an alcohol problem. I lost my career due to a DUI that I got out here in Colorado. I lost my career drinking and driving. That was in 2010. As of October 30th of 2010, I stopped drinking alcohol. I had my first drink at the age of 12 years old. Never really thought I had a drinking problem, but I was one of those party animals, you know what I mean? I used to drink a lot, you know? Just imagine, this is one of the reasons why we out here dying so doggone young. Imagine if I still drink hard liquor to this day, even at the age of 46 years old. Now, I know to the younger people out there, you're going to be like, yo, 46 is mad old. 46 isn't old at all. Especially dying in your 40s. It's not old at all. If I had my first drink at the age of 12 and I'm 46, imagine if I still drink to this day, I'd be putting, 34 years of hard liquor onto my organs. I would have legitimately been drinking for 34 years if I still drink. Imagine what that's doing to your body. If you started smoking cigarettes, you know, at a young age or whatever, it's putting a lot of stress on your organs. And that's the reason why we're out here dropping in our 50s, because we already got stage 4 something, because we started so young. We have to take care of our bodies. I love y'all, man. Thanks for tapping in. I didn't mean to get so serious, but it needs to be said. I still need to reach back and grab these Flint 13s. I'm in no rush, but I'm getting them. Space Jams, of course. Toy Yellows, come to daddy. That's right. Toy Yellows are coming home. Yep. We're grabbing Toy Yellow 4s. We're grabbing both Space Jams. We're grabbing the Toy Yellows. Oh, and the bread 4s. That's not that Rick James. Give it to me, baby. Yeah. They're coming home. Shout out to everybody who's tapped in, man. It's always loving this end. Your boy's hungry. And I want to play I got my Xbox right here. I'm about to play my Dead by Daylight. About to get me some food. I don't know what I'm going to eat, but I'm hungry. I'm about to play my game. Holla at me on Xbox, man. If any of y'all play Xbox, here goes my gamer tag. Here goes my gamer tag. All right, let me turn the caps on. Oh, there we go. The game I've been playing has been called DBD, Dead by Daylight. My gamer tag is Curtis O. If you'll play this game, and I'm not good at it. That's why I suck. I used to be very bad at the game. Now I'm just bad. So now I want to play it even more because I'm just bad at it, which means I'm getting better. Yo, man, it's always loving this, man. Make sure you tune in one pair at a time, man. We got my guys podcast this Saturday. I do have to work, so I'm only gonna be on for about a half an hour. Then I'm gonna have to go to work this Saturday. But I've been jumping on live, like whenever I had the time, man. I'm gonna get on here and kick it with y'all because I like doing this, man. It's always loving this end, man. I'm tapping out, man.